Alright, today I wanted to do a video about doing a repair on a Taurus 380. And as you can see, it's completely, I've already checked to make sure that there are no bullets, no ammo in the chamber, that the magazine is empty. Okay, that's a good practice to get into. This is if you want all the numbers, it's a 380, but all the numbers on this one would be a PT 738 380 ACP, and this is with the stainless steel slide. The problem I was having was the clip was popping out all the time until finally it just wouldn't stay in. Taurus has a good warranty. They have a lifetime warranty, so if anything, if the gun has any kind of defect over the lifetime, even if you sell it, give it away, somebody else, you find one, it doesn't matter. Taurus will honor the warranty as long as you haven't been beaten on it with a hammer. So what when I told them the magazine clip was popping out, they said they did have a spring kit for it, a repair spring kit for it, which means that other people have probably been having the same problem. And that they would repair it for free, or they would send me the spring clip kit if I wanted to do it. The problem is that once you put the clip kit in, you had to buy a different kind of magazine, because the magazines are only covered for a year. So, and the magazines were $32 each, and of course if you want 2 magazines, which I would, that's $64 for a free repair. So I decided to look at it again to see if it's something that I could do. I basically had an idea of what was going on, but I thought that if I could have them repair it, that way I wasn't touching it, in the future it wouldn't be a problem. With them saying, well, at some point somebody tried some repair and now you're sending it to us, and somebody else has messed with it and the warranty's void, something like that. But anyway, so I decided to look and see if I could repair it myself. And what you've got on this firearm here is the clip release, the magazine release, right there. Okay, so this is a right-handed firearm for a right-handed person. And, of course, your thumb hits that button when you want the magazine to be released, And this is the right side of the firearm. Okay, the casings exit to the right, the spent casings. So what goes on in here is when you push the magazine release, the clip release, okay, as you can see that it pushes that side out. Okay, now let me show you what's going on in here. If you look on this edge right here, look about halfway down, if you can see it in there. See that protrusion, that little line of metal, that little piece of metal sticking out? Well, that's what holds the clip in. And when you push this, see how it disappears? I push the magazine release and it disappears. Okay, what happens is that little piece of metal fits, okay, into this little slot, and I'm trying to do this without being able to look at it, but that little slot, so it slides in there, and then when you push the magazine release, that little piece of metal backs away and this magazine can slide out. So, when you push the magazine release, that little piece of metal backs out and the magazine comes out, right there. Okay. So obviously the problem was that that little piece of metal was not going far enough inside here, and eventually it was just popping out, and it got to where it was just falling out on its own. So what I did was I realized that if I could flare this little edge right here out on the right side of the clip, okay, take the firearm, alright, put the clip in. Okay, this is the right hand side. You pull the clip out. The right hand side of the firearm will be the side that you need to flare. right here. And you can almost see it in the video when the light hits it just right. You can see a little flare out just a little bit. It'll be right up on the top. It'll be that edge right there. Now what you want to do is you want to take a good pair of needle nose pliers. You want to insert it to that edge right there, and you want to just raise up, hold it good and stiff, and raise it up. Now you don't want to put it in there and push down this way and try to use the clip to push that edge up, because what will happen is you'll end up bending this, here, or putting a dent in it. So what you want to do is you want to, I'm trying to do this without being able to see it, you want to insert it, okay, up along, get up into that edge, right there, and then you just want to pick up on it. You want to squeeze real tight with the needle nose and pick it up. And just go a little bit at a time. Even if it doesn't seem like you're doing anything, just start with just squeeze it good and tight. Just give it a little bit of pull. You don't want to go too much. You don't want to mess it up. Go a little bit at a time. Fill it full of ammo. Fill it all the way up. Pop it back in. And then what you want to do is you want to, once it's popped all the way in, you want to be able to, you want to twist it back and forth and rock it, push it back and forth. Okay, so that'll be push it back and forth, twist it while pulling on it. So you want to pull on it, twist it, push it back and forth, and pull at the same time to see if it'll pull out. If it pulls out, then go ahead, go back, and just pull it up a little more. But remember, you don't want to use the clip, you don't want to do one of these. You don't want to put it in there and try, forcing it up using the edge of this as a, as something to push on. You want to put it in and then pull up. And you're going to have to give it a pretty good squeeze, but just go a little bit at a time, even if it doesn't seem like you're doing anything. Just start very start with very little movement. And you can also take the very tip of the needle nose, start with the very tip, and just pull a little edge up, and and then just continue on. If that's not working, then go a little farther over into the slot, and pull it up there, just a little. Just take your time and do a little bit at a time. Start with very, squeeze it tight with the needle nose, and then just do very small movements up, almost almost to the point where you think that maybe it's not even doing anything at all. And that way, as you insert it, and you try it out, you'll see that it'll get tighter and tighter until finally, this one was just falling out. When I slide mine in and pull on it and twist it, rock it back and forth, it won't come out, even full of ammo. So that's what took care of that. Saved me $64, and I'm real happy about it. This is a pretty good firearm. As you can see how small it is. That's pretty small. And this is really great for the ladies. They can put it in, if it's summertime and they're trying to, go out and look nice and everything, tight pants, tight, dresses and stuff. At least this is, fairly easy to hide compared to some other firearms. I mean, it's pretty small. So that's a positive. It shoots pretty good. I use Winchester ammo in it and don't have any problems with it jamming. Some other ammos will jam, but so far I've never had a problem with Winchester jamming in it. Tall ammo just basically doesn't work. Sometimes it'll jam right away, and you might get one or two and then it'll jam. So tall ammo does not work in this one, at least in mine. But Winchester is great. So, and you want something obviously that's going to work great all the time. The only negative on this is that while it shoots straight, it does shoot straight. The only negative is it doesn't have an easily accessible safety on it. There's a little key they give you that you got to put in and turn that you can use, but obviously that's out of the question. What I've done is I just don't keep a bullet chambered, and when I've carried it, so that if I have to use it, I do, at that point you got to rack it, and then it's ready to go. So, but the only problem with that is this is a very small gun, and it has a really strong spring. So if your fingers, you're coming out of a restaurant or it's rainy, if all of a sudden you've got a problem and you feel like you need to pull your firearm, where your adrenaline's already going, you're nervous, and if you've got greasy fingers or something, this is pretty hard to do with dry hands. It's a pretty stiff string or spring. But if you're nervous, your hands are greasy or wet or something, if you're trying to rack it and all of a sudden you're having problems, especially a lady, that's just going to increase the anxiety. One fix that would take care of it, I do believe, would be to get some stair tread. Now that's pretty rough. It's not necessarily like sandpaper. It's kind of rough, but at the same time, it shouldn't come off like sandpaper. It won't end up leaving grit. But 2 little strips of stair tread. They make like a rough stair tread. Some kind of material that sticks on, but some glue, or if the stair tread has its own self-stick backing on it, just 2 little strips right here. You can see where they put grooves in to kind of help you, but the grooves themselves are kind of smooth. But those 2, step tread, right treads, pieces right on each end. That way, even if your fingers are wet, you're nervous, your fingers are greasy, you grab that stair tread and squeeze, and it's going to grab into your fingers pretty good. But, it might be a little uncomfortable, but it's better than, panicking and not being able to rack your firearm. Other than that, I would never recommend leaving a bullet chambered in a firearm that you could just pull the trigger. I don't know if they make any kind of trigger lock that would be very quick and easy. You keep it in your purse or in your pocket, and that the trigger lock would be very quick and very easy to undo. They may have something that would fit, and also that would fit and you'd be able to use, but a woman would be able to conceal, in various places when she was wearing tight clothes or dress or something. That's something I guess you could kind of look around and figure out. But other than that, it's a pretty good firearm. Like I said, shoots straight, shoots good. Clip problem is solved on both clips, and so it's ready to go. All right, hope that if anybody else is having a problem with their clip, and from what I understand, they've got a whole spring kit and everything for it, so they must have been having problems and people, asking about it and sending their firearms in. But this is a cheap way that fixes it.